Hey everybody, Kenneth Russell here. Hope you're doing well. Now, if you are like most people, you do not have a record player anymore. So today I'm going to review this vintage turntable by 1BYONE. Give my thoughts. Is this a good entry-level turntable for you? I don't know. Check it out. All right, well, a couple weeks ago, I got an email from someone at the company 1BYONE and asked if they sent me this turntable, if I could do a review of it. I said sure, and hooked it up. And to be honest with you, I was not super impressed with it. It does have some pros, but it's got a lot of cons. Got to hand it to the people at 1BYONE. I emailed them back and said, listen, I'm happy to make the review, but it's probably not going to be a glowing review, and told them how I would break it down. And they said, you know what, I appreciate your honesty. Go ahead and make the review however you see fit. So anyway, here's the review of this. I'm going to kind of go handheld and go through some of the features of the turntable and the pros and the cons. All right, getting up close here to the 1BYONE here. Actually, aesthetically, it looks pretty nice. It's got a nice case that it comes in, decent latch and all that for the price that you're paying here. You know, it kind of has a nice little look. I think it comes in a few different colors. The controls on the side here, we've got a volume control, a headphone out to listen to headphones with, your DC, here's your power adapter that plugs in there, your left and right RCA, and then finally a line in case you wanted to hook up an external device and use the built-in speakers here that are on the front right here. And there's the front speakers there. It's got a nice handle. You know, it's got that ribbing on there. It looks pretty sharp. Up here on the top, it has the adapter up here to play 45 records, which are, you know, the smaller records. 3 different size records, 33, 45, or 78 records. And it also has this auto off or auto stop when you're done with the record. Now, one feature that I really like about it is this two things. It has this latch here that you're able to hold this down, this arm down with this latch, so that it's not going to be bouncing around as you're carrying it. It comes here with this thing on the needle, so you can put that back each time and not damage your needle as well. And then it also has this arm here, this lever that when you put it on where you want it to go and you lower it, I don't know if you can catch this, but it gradually lowers down to where it's supposed to be, which is awesome, because if you're not using this, you're just kind of flopping it down and you can scratch your record and it can bounce up and down. But as this lowers, slowly coming down, it's not going to hurt your records as much. All right, so those are some of the features that it has, just kind of looking at it. One thing that I will mention that I kind of wish they would have done is had some sort of pocket or something that the power adapter could have gone into. If I was carrying this around, I probably would set it right here and close it up. It closes just fine, but then as I'm carrying it around, it's going to be flopping around and could damage things. Getting on to the important part, which is the audio quality. First things first, the built-in speakers here, they're about the same quality that you would expect to hear from just your phone. You know, so if you were to just have your phone playing music, that's about what it sounds like. There's really not a lot of low end, other than just kind of having it going in the background. That would be probably, if this was for somebody, I would say if somebody that just had some records they wanted to play at a party, or just kind of wanted to listen to it while they cleaned or while they were doing something, but weren't really like listening for the best sound quality. But maybe they have some records they don't have on CD or on MP3 or whatever. This would be a good for that, just for casual listening experience. The other thing that it would be good for is to take this maybe like out on the patio and out back and grill or something and be listening to your records. Moving on to more of the high fidelity side of things, this is not. The problem that it has is it doesn't have any low end whatsoever. So the built-in speakers, you're not getting the full spectrum of a record. And records have an amazing sound to them. Like a good quality record player, you play the same thing on a record as you do a CD, and there's just something that happens. It's just a good system. You go, wow, I didn't realize there was that much clarity in the track to begin with. You're not going to get that with this. So on the side here, on these functions here, it's got the RCA outs. So I thought, okay, I'm going to just hook these up into my speakers, and I've got good studio quality speakers, hooked them up to them. I thought, okay, that's where the sound's going to sound really good. Of course, it's not going to sound good in the built-in speakers, but when you hook it up to a system, it's going to sound really good. And it was the same thing, and it's not even worse. Like the high end, the mids and the highs were there, but it just literally sounded like the thing was in a can. And I couldn't believe it. It was to the point where I thought, did I mess up my speakers somehow, and like the woofers aren't working and only the tweeters are working. So they're not very good there. Also, the RCA, the volume on the side doesn't control the RCA volume. So you have to have some sort of another device outside of that. So you have to hook it up to like an AV receiver and use the volume on that in order to control the volume. You can't do it on the unit itself. So then I switched over to the 3.5 millimeter jack on the side, and basically the headphone jack, and used that into the speakers. And it was basically the same thing. It sounded really thin, really tinny, no low end. So you'd have to have some sort of EQ that you're going into, and then try to make up the EQ going into your speakers or going into your amplifier. With that though, it did have the volume on the side, did control the volume on that. So the headphones didn't really work. The RCA didn't really work. It's got the line in function, which I guess could be useful for somebody, but honestly, I don't really see how that really would be, because if these speakers are about the same quality as your phone, I don't even see why you'd even hook up like your phone to listen through these speakers. I would just use the speakers on the phone. Now you may be thinking, well, maybe the quality of records that were being played was the issue and it wasn't the system itself. That's not the case, actually. My brother-in-law he's an audiophile guy. He's got a very expensive turntable. He has a collection of good records, an amazing sound system that he plays them through. He builds his own speakers, that kind of thing. He's legit. So I called him up and I was like, hey dude, can you bring me over like a few records? Give me something that would like 100% be good quality. And this is Zeppelin 3. This record itself actually came from the manufacturer, and I don't mean shipped from the manufacturer. He took a tour of the manufacturing plant, the place where they actually stamp these records. And so when he got this was like an original stamped record. This is like super high quality. It's only been played on his record player. Man, when he played the first track on this, I was just like, it almost made me, I was very disappointed. Let's just put it that way. So the quality of the records that I was playing were good quality records. It definitely was the turntable not producing the low end that needed to be there. For the price, it could be worth it, you know, because I mean, it isn't super expensive. If you're just wanting something to listen to some old records and you just want to listen to them and that's it, and it's not a super like high fidelity, enjoyable experience you're looking for, this may be the unit for you. What's great is you could buy it and just use it once a year, close it up, toss it in your closet, and not really worry about it. So probably out of 5 stars, give this a 3 out of 5 stars. I think on some ways it functions well for the price point. I wasn't expecting just the best quality turntable in the world. However, for me personally, it basically is useless. You know, if I'm going to listen to a record, I really want to listen to the quality of the record, not just have ambient music just in the background. If I'm going to listen to a record, I want it to be high quality. So anyway, hopefully this was useful to you as a review. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/KennethRussell. And anyway, I'll check you out and I'll see you in another video.